Good morning, YouTube. How are you this morning? I am pretty good. A little tired, but other than that, I'm all right. It is about 10 a.m. Central Time, and I'm in Vidor, Texas, at Gerdau Rolled Coils, or Coiled Rod, or whatever it is. It's the Coiled Rod Mill. Is located off of I-10, exit 858, I think, or 857, something like that. It's on old US 90, just past the big Beaumont Bridge. Yeah. After we talked last night, I uploaded a video, went to bed after watching a little bit of TV and eating dinner. It's kind of a restless night. It didn't storm last night, but the winds were really high, and I didn't have any place to move to, and the way I was parked, the truck rocked all night long. And it also didn't help that the drag racers kept going up and down the street all night long until about 2 o'clock. Made no sense whatsoever, especially as short as it was. I think the strip was only about a quarter of a mile long, but they were doing it as fast as they could. I got up at 5 this morning and cleaned up, took off, got over here at 7:20, checked in and pulled right in behind another Maverick. It took about an hour and a half for them to load me, and then once I got loaded, I pulled out and parked waiting to get into the tarping station. It took me about 45 minutes to secure this thing. Butterfly straps are a pain in the butt, just period, especially if you can't get on the trailer. It's easier if you can get on the trailer, then you can feed them through by hand instead of having to throw, walk all the way around, throw, walk all the way around. It's just, ugh. And this trailer, the winches, I have limited distance space in a couple spots, so it's very difficult. I had some tough time getting it laid out. The end coil, I couldn't get a winch to it at all, and I had to use two 2-inch straps for it. But I was able to use a butterfly on it, so it meets requirements. This load is due tomorrow, anytime between 7 and 4. It is, like I said, it's a tarp load, and I'm waiting to use the tarping station. The driver in front of me is relatively new to Maverick, and I gave him some help on his butterfly straps, but he's on his own for the tarping. This particular load is a little long for 4-foot drops, so I'll be using a 4-foot drop in the front and a 4-foot drop in the back, and I'll be using a canvas tarpon to cover up about a foot in the middle of the load. I'm not getting out the 8-foot drops because they won't put them on top of the load, and they're too heavy for me to drag up on the trailer with the tarping station thing they got going on here. Too much of a pain in the butt. So my plan from here is I'm going to head out as soon as I get this done. It's probably going to be about another hour and 15 minutes. And then I'm going to head down to Orange, Texas to the Flying J. I'm going to buy fuel, take a shower, get something to eat for lunch, and then I'm going to take off. It's my intention to try and get as far as I can. I probably will not make it tonight as long as I've been sitting here, because I've already been here 2.5 hours, and I plan on being here at least another hour and a half. It'll take me an hour roughly, probably at the Flying J, and it's a 8-hour drive up there. I'll be taking I think it's Texas 105 up to 79, and then on to 71, and then straight up into Fort Smith. I got to stop at Fort Smith on the way in and get rid of this tire, and then make my delivery. I'd like to make Fort Smith tonight if I can. If not, there's a couple of places on 71 that I can stop. There's only one truck stop, but there are a couple of places I can stop, pull off, parking areas, and park. Matter of fact, there's an abandoned grocery store about an hour and a half south of Fort Smith that I like, and I will happily park there if I have to. So that's pretty much it. I was going to include a loading video, but the camera was obscured. I'm sorry, but here's a couple of pictures of the finished securement and tarping. Good afternoon, YouTube. How are you this afternoon? I feel great. Much better than I did a little while ago. It is about 1 o'clock Central Time, and I'm in Orange, Texas at the Pilot. I was going to go to the Flying J, but I decided to go to the Pilot so I can get a Subway sandwich instead of getting something at Denny's. I was in Vidor for about another, I'd say, hour and a half, roughly. It was about another 20 minutes before I could pull up, put my tarps on, and then it took me about 35 minutes to get my tarps on. Then I had to wait to get out because I was blocked in. The pictures you saw are the results of that tarp job. Got over here, bought fuel, cleaned the windshield, went inside, took a shower, got my sandwich, and got ice from my cooler. And of course, took out the trash and did all the other little housekeeping things. Getting ready to head out. With the stop here, I don't have enough time to get all the way there. I don't even have enough time to get to Fort Smith. I think I'm gonna end up getting, I can't remember the name of the town, but it's a Chevron truck stop about, I think it's about 2 hours from Van Buren on 71. Let's see if I have it here. Exxon Superstation is what it is, sorry. Mena, Arkansas. Been there before several times, and it's a nice, quiet truck stop in the middle of nowhere. It's got about 25 parking spaces, a little bitty junky restaurant, and but it's nice and quiet, and it's usually very dark. Unless it rains, and it's a mud pit. But there didn't rain yesterday, and there's no rain around today. So that's pretty much gonna be it for today. I'm gonna head up there, park for the night, get up in the morning, and then drive on into Van Buren to unload, and then head over to Fort Smith when I'm done. So until I unload tomorrow morning, keep the shiny side up, 73s. Be safe.